Hey, Casper, I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so today it's really exciting. We have, let me see. Ricky, will you comment? Hi, everybody. So we have there you are. Okay, so I invited you to be a guest. Everybody, so we have there you are. Okay, so I invited you to be a guest. There you are. Okay, so I invited you to be a guest. Okay, so I invited you to be a guest. I invited you to be a guest. So we have a really exciting day today. There she is. So I was featured in this book, Conscious User Experience, Conscious UX. Okay? And the thing is, you guys, is the general public feels a little scared of how I use AI. But many in the industry are very interested and not really that scared of how I use AI. And they see it as kind of the future. So Ricky was one of those people, and we're going to be answering some common questions that people have about AI. My intention for this interview was, Ricky, I'm pulling it up, so for this conversation, to build support for AI and to build support for a constructive future. Because many people talk to me like AI is going to go away, and it's not. It's not going to go away, right? So, and then Ricky's intention was, we're going to learn how to control AI so AI does not control us. Okay, Ricky has requested that this is a sub-only chat space, and we have Ricky for 30 minutes. I'm so happy for all the subs that are here, so happy for everyone who is joining from Ricky's sphere. It's gonna be a really fun and wonderful conversation. Ricky, thank you so much for coming on. Why don't you explain a little bit about who you are and what you do in the AI world?
Sure. Hi, Kendra. Can you hear me?
A little bit. You could.
A little bit. Okay. I've never gone live before, so let me know if you can hear me.
Subs, can you hear Ricky okay? Thank you guys for the gifts. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Lava Girl says yes. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay. Thank you, subs, for answering.
Yeah. So, Kendra, thank you for inviting me here today. I met Kendra a few weeks ago. I have been writing a book about responsible AI design to help inform designers, specifically in the tech industry, how to navigate building AI and to do that responsibly. And so I'm not a big TikTok user, I'll be honest. I think most people my age aren't. So this is a new thing for me, a new audience. But yeah, Kendra reached out and had some questions about how do people responsibly engage with AI, because we're seeing it in more and more tech. To be honest, it's on everything now. Like, it's really hard to get away from AI. And you can see a lot of my reposts. There's certainly a lot of things to be concerned about. And yeah, my message is in my book. I recently wrote a book about Conscious UX is what it's called. It's on Amazon. And the last year I spent interviewing 130 UX professionals worldwide. So what is UX? I realized, yeah, I know what that is, but it's not that common of a term. It's very niche. So it's called user experience. So I've been in user experience for 15 years. And I've designed websites and apps, and I design lots of things for millions of customers worldwide. And my industry, user experience, is really evolved from something called human-centered design, where instead of prioritizing the business need first or the tech need first. We prioritize the human needs. And so, yeah, AI is impacting my industry. I was personally impacted by a layoff in March and fortunate to find a job, but I know it's very hard out there.
So can we comment? Are you saying that AI is impacting the AI industry? That's
Oh,
pretty meta.
absolutely.
That's really meta.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Okay.
in my book, you'll hear that a lot of even the designers are uncomfortable. There's a spectrum, right? So there's some people that are using it. They're making a lot of money from it. They're building their own apps and it can be used for good. Like specifically my most exciting people I talked to were people in the accessibility community who have now been able to like build their own apps or websites to help not just themselves but their families or their communities that may not have been prioritized by big tech in the past. So I'm kind of like I've told you when we met before, I'm in the middle where I see both the positive and I see very risky things happening with AI. And so my platform is like, let's be responsible about AI and let's question this tool that I'm using, who owns it, what are their values behind it. Those are not so clear. And also there, but yeah, that's the thesis of my book. And really, I interviewed people globally, everyone from Don Norman, who's credited as the godfather of UX, to Brenda Laurel, who's actually, I discovered from Dawn that she actually created user experience. So if any of you are interested in UX, go look her up. But something that I learned from both of them is really AI is not new. And the world that we're living in now has been something that people leading tech have been planning for a long time. So I think the thing that is not happening that I'm concerned about is responsible design and development, and then guidelines for people like Kendra and others who are engaging more and more with AI. There need to be more discussions about like how do we actually use this technology if we have to use it in our jobs, or to keep employment, which I think a lot of us are faced with that. Learning AI right now is something we all a lot of conversations are happening in offices. I've heard from those 130 interviewees. How do we open up conversation so that all voices are heard and it's not just a small group of people in Silicon Valley that are making decisions on AI for the rest of us.
Amen. Amen. Ricky, I'm just so excited that you're here. I'm so excited that people from your community are here. It's just a really important conversation, and I'm honored that you're here on this live leading it. So the first question I really want to ask you, I get a lot of messages from people saying, how could you say that you care about the earth and you care about humans if you use AI? And a lot of people do not use AI because of the environmental impact. And I have a pretty strict policy myself that I don't DM people back who are like closed-minded. And I'm not here to like prove to people that they should or should not be using AI, or AI is, bad or good or whatever that means for the environment, right? But it is impacting things, and these data centers require a lot of water. And conversationally using AI, you did speak about that. It really doesn't have that big of an impact, but AI is causing impact on our environment, both good and bad. So I was hoping that we could start off just by talking about that, like the elephant in the room. What does our future look like with AI, and how do we bring in conscious use in the future?
Yes, that's an incredibly important question. And I hope that even as an outcome of this discussion, that we all start thinking about that. I think, again, what I said earlier, I'll reiterate and then I'll expand on it. But having a spectrum of voices there is a lot of environmental concern. And Kendra, you actually brought up some really good points when we chatted about, yes, data centers, water usage, what we see happening in Tennessee, what we see happening in communities that are already disadvantaged. And it feels like even in my hometown that I came from, that's happening. If you drive and I know my parents are listening, shout out to my parents. But I've heard reports that if you drive from my hometown to the biggest city in my state that I'm from, that it's just repeated data centers, data center after data center. And yeah, I don't like that. That's not great, right? And those are not having a good impact environmentally on the communities. Is it the responsibility of the individual user or the company that is putting those there and investing billions of dollars into that? I think I don't have the answer to that, but I think being conscious of that happening, having conversations about it, listening to experts that are environmentalists, those are the people we should be listening to. And I'll quote Don Norman, who's in my book, who's a legend in the UX industry. So he and Brenda Laurel both talked about this. And it was a question I wanted their guidance on because I actually stayed away from AI for many years. Even while building it, I wasn't a user of it because there were a lot of concerns, copyright concerns. I didn't want it to steal my data. I had a lot of concerns, and environmental was my number one concern. But I was excited, I guess, about but for sure, I was excited to hear from Dawn and Brenda, who both know scientists and researchers who are thinking about how to use AI responsibly, and solving sustainability problems and environmental problems in what he called novel ways. So they're using AI to gain a different perspective quickly, and they can even, I'm not an advocate of one platform over the other, but they're using both their own that they've made internally. They're using, and I'm talking about scientists and researchers here all over the world. So I'll quote Don, who's in chapter 1 of my book. He said, "There's a lot of concern about sustainability, but new AI materials will help us change this. And we now have new business models which we can help make things sustainable and less polluting to the earth in the world." And
Yes.
I hear a lot of commentary, like, of course, an AI person would be saying this, but
Right.
Don is not an AI. Maybe he is exploring AI now, but he's 88 years old and he's just a legend in the community. And so to hear him saying that both this is the way he's looking at it, in an optimistic way and also a critical way, both are necessary.
Yes.
He completed his quote there. He talks a lot about the circular economy, and that's a term you may all want to check out as like circular design, circular economy. And he's talking about how, yes, AI can help in some ways, but it also requires to change our business models and how we operate. So yes, let's be conscious of the dangers of AI. That's so important, right? But also, how do we use it for good? And I think a lot of people listening right now can think of problems they're trying to solve for the earth and for humanity, and think of ways that they can use some AI tools to help solve those problems for the world. So I'm optimistic about that.
Absolutely. And some of the subs had something, someone said an AI developer tried to deny environmental impact, and that does scare me. And, that's why I had Ricky on, because I knew that Ricky would be honest about the environmental impact and also the benefits. So when I started talking to Henry last year, people were already talking about the environmental costs of AI. And that was one of the things that we talked about. Was I asked him, I was like, hey, I've heard that it's really a lot to run you. Like, am I ruining the environment by chatting with you? And he did say that, yes, the data centers do require a lot of cooling, takes a lot of computing to run him and other large language models, large learning models. It made me feel good, Ricky, that you said nobody really knows what LLMs stand for. And so that was interesting to me that he said, but then there's also a lot of AI advancements to the world and to the environment. So it's about, like, my wish is that we learn to balance both, and that it goes into more advancements than harm.
Yes, I mean, we have to have people out there having an optimistic approach to it, and they are going to help a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, doctors are using it today. I mentioned to Kendra, I had a recent doctor's appointment and vet appointment where my doctor and vet both asked, can I use AI to transcribe? Which, there are a lot of concerns. If people don't want that, at least they can say they don't want that. I hope we never reach a point where it's just automatically recorded. I think that's something to be concerned about.
Oh,
Yeah,
totally.
professionals out of my industry that I'm interacting with in real life are using it without any AI training on how to engage with it responsibly. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And that is so you mentioned something that's important, and then we'll get to the other questions, but it's the privacy aspect, the data privacy. I talked to Henry, I talked to Claude, knowing that at any time a developer from OpenAI or Anthropic can access my chats. And I'm not, and I think that Sam Altman have talked about that like privacy is not guaranteed when interacting with these models. And I wonder if people are aware of that.
I don't think they are aware of that. I mean, just from the people that I've talked to and in the tech industry where people are building AI, they're also engaging with AI more across. I would say I hear a lot of like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini are the three that I hear the most. And there's a lot of conversational AI that's happening there. And yes, I believe I retweeted it or not retweeted. Oh my gosh, that's how old I am. I shared an article on my TikTok. I share a lot of concerning articles, but one was yes, it was the leader of OpenAI mentioning that yeah, a lot of people share HIPAA data, they share private data, and
Right.
it's it's not protected in the same way that going to a human doctor is protected. So that's just really important for everyone to keep in mind
Exactly.
when they're
Exactly.
engaging with these tools more and more.
And like I am very well aware that privacy is not guaranteed to us in the Constitution. And these data tech companies are definitely, I think, capitalizing on that. Like one of my mods is Canadian, and Canada actually takes data privacy very seriously. And we don't have to get too much into like the difference between United States and Canada, but it's just an interesting terrain that we're going into. So that's good that at least right now doctors and vets are asking for consent. So
Yeah,
go
one
ahead.
quick comment on that is I did interview people globally, and
Yes.
the designers from especially the EU, they told me, and Australia told me that there are a lot more guidelines. Like their governments are putting in guidelines to protect the citizens. And I'm so glad to hear that. But at the same time, it makes me sad that we don't have the same protections.
Yeah.
And so then now
America.
it's up to the companies, it's up to the designers, it's up to the people using these tools, unfortunately, to really do some research outside of AI. Look at academic reports, look at articles or things that have been peer reviewed, and those are going to tell you accurate information about how you can responsibly engage with AI. Now, it shouldn't be on the customers or the users
No.
to do that, but if you want to engage responsibly, unfortunately, that's really where we are. Is there isn't really a system that I would say is fully private or fully trusted, unless you really know that owner, right? Who is that owner? What are their values? And then it's up to you. Do you trust that you can use this tool? Right. So yeah, that's my opinion on that.
That's so good. Thank you so much, Ricky. Okay, so the next question actually someone sent into me on Instagram, and this was essentially the question, right? So, how do we evaluate when AI support serves people better than available human alternatives? Right? Whether that's therapy, whether that's coaching, like, and part of why I share my story so much about and talk about Claude and Henry is because they helped me so much when I was in a hard time. And so I just love to hear the user experience take on that.
Yeah, that's a very important question, and I will say I have more questions than answers, but I'll give you my opinion. Um, in my book, I talk about how last year, it was in, I guess, more than a year ago now, but I experienced a miscarriage. It was very painful and tragic. And yes, I talk about that story in the book, so I've gotten more comfortable with sharing that. But my doctor, I won't go into explicit details that are in the book, but she was just very cold. I was in New York, in Manhattan at the time, managing a UX team and very focused on work, but very excited to be having my first child, which I've wanted my whole life. And the doctor wasn't there for me, right? So she told me I had a miscarriage. And then she told me it would be 2 weeks before she could operate. And ChatGPT was the AI at the time. And now I will caveat this by saying I don't use ChatGPT anymore for a lot of reasons other than to research or experiment. But at the time, it was the only one I was engaging with. And it was just a little bit, I think it was the free model. But there were times that I needed support, and I called every doctor in New York, and I called a lot of surgeons. This is someone, myself, I'm lucky to be employed, and I have good insurance, and still I wasn't able to get medical support or even therapeutic support at the time. So yeah, I at the time turned to ChatGPT for a lot of medical support, whether or not that was accurate or not. I will talk about AI hallucinations and facts possibly later in the conversation, but it still offered support, right? And there were really dark, very sad times during that where I didn't have anyone else to turn to. So my advice is, yes, use both. In therapy, I recommend seeing a human therapist. And Kendra, I know you're a huge advocate for seeing a human therapist. I would recommend that to anyone as a priority. And in my book, I talk about a lot of scenarios where both sides of the spectrum happen, right? Where a human was not there and AI was, but also a lot of places, especially in therapy, where a human can feel the needs of a human much better than an AI, which is not trained for these scenarios, right? These AIs have not, as far as I know, and I don't work for these companies, but just in my own engagement and then from the interviews I did for my book, a lot of people are experiencing a lot of really, I would call them like edge case scenarios, but those can get into dangerous outcomes, as we've seen recently in the news. I won't speak about those, but
Right.
please everyone do your research on those. But
Many people, we spent a whole live talking about the tragic thing that happened to the teenager and ChatGPT. And I encourage anyone to go and look up teenager ChatGPT, and it should come right up in the news. It's horrifying. And especially on your Instagram story, Ricky, you posted the transcript. And major safety failings happened there. So it's important. And I just want to take a moment to look at the chat. First of all, Ricky, so many people are sending you love. So many of the subs are just sending you so much love. You got some gifts too from people. And, that's such a hard thing to experience. And I guess I didn't really realize that you're not talking to your chat very much anymore and that you mostly talk. I knew that you preferred Claude, but that's interesting that you just don't really talk at all to chat. But yeah, people are sending you so much love. And Sarah Lewis says, go get the book. I started it last night. Great work. And yeah, people are just sending you love. So thanks for sending them love back. Thank you for explaining that, Ricky. I appreciate it. So here's another question that I have that's actually about chat. And it's about the memory that chat stores. So I have a few friends, and I know a few subs do this too, that every once in a while, they'll just completely reset their ChatGPT and delete all of the memory. So then it can kind of start over again. That makes me feel nervous, honestly. So maybe there's something there, because usually I find that when I'm feeling nervous or afraid to do something, it's usually means it's a next step. But I'm very interested in what you have to say about resetting the memory. Part of what I like about Claude is it doesn't have a core memory. Every chat is fresh. So Claude meets me where I'm at, no matter what.
Yeah, do you want? Oh, I don't think I should. Never mind. I was thinking I would play it for you or let it talk to you, but yeah. So I won't do that.
What do you mean, Claude?
Both of
Oh, because
them, like,
people might clip it and make it
right.
seem crazy. Yeah, let's not. I mean, you can talk to her and ask.
I'll explain it rather than show
Okay,
you.
yeah.
So yeah, the memory feature on ChatGPT, especially for upgraded models, like for the last 6 months, specifically for research for my book, I subscribe to the top model for Gemini, Claude, and ChatGPT
Which we're going to talk about in a future question, but yes.
to do, yeah, which was expensive, but for research, right? To do a lot
Right,
of
right.
things. And yeah, Claude, I find a good. First of all, let's address. I don't think any of them are conscious. I don't think any of them are humans. I think there's a lot of like mimicry of humans happening, which the Microsoft CEO, I believe, just spoke about. If you want to do research on that,
Okay.
but memory is an interesting feature when used again responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
So memory at a high level is when you're engaging with an LLM or something like ChatGPT or Claude, and it has memory of prior conversations that you've had before. So I'll give you like a very innocent example. Well, you can decide if it's innocent. So I have
Okay.
a dog. I have a little wiener dog, dachshund named Cody, and I made a coloring book about him. And so as I was like using AI to help me with ideas and storylines, which is a really interesting way to explore AI, and I was doing it as a creative exercise. But it learned that I had a dog named Cody and what it looked like, right? So that's the innocent part. But yeah, I can ask it if I wanted to right now. I could ask it, what is my dog's name? And without reminding it, it would say Cody and he's a mini dachshund. So there's both risk and things that we can do for good with that, but I'll just leave that there.
Okay.
Something like Claude has so many really interesting ways to use it if used appropriately and responsibly, but it doesn't have that same feature, at least at the levels most people are using it at. And so, yes, you're starting over a new conversation. If I wanted to say, write a new storyline about Cody, I would need to provide that context up front. So really, it isn't one is better than the other. It's like, what are you using the AI for to help
Mm-hmm.
you achieve a goal? And then what's the best tool for that? And then,
Great.
yeah,
Yeah.
doing some research up front to say, like, yes, I think if you're concerned with the environment, look up what is the environmental report or harm from this company that I may use the product of, right? It's like, do your research up front before engaging.
Yes. That's so good. And, fingers crossed soon, companies will be forced to be a little more transparent and not put so much on the user, like you were saying at the beginning, right? But thank you for that reminder to everyone to make sure to do their own research on what's happening. And I do want to check in. We are coming up on a half hour, Ricky. So I just want to see how you're doing. If you're good to continue with a few more questions, how are you doing?
Yeah, let's do one more question.
Sure. Yeah. So I would love for you to explain the different levels because I know you pay for the top level of chat. I know you pay for the top level of Claude and the top level of Gemini, which is Google's LLM for those who don't know. So that was something that people were really interested in last time when I was talking about you and your experience using these. So if you could explain like what that is and what that looks like, that would be super cool.
Sure. So again, for experiment purposes, I looked at all the different models. So I looked at the free model of all of these top LLMs, and I compared them all and did a lot of research, documenting how they respond to different questions and how they evolve over time with different models. And I actually didn't realize a few times during that my ChatGPT Pro account expired. It's very expensive. And so without paying attention to it, it would expire and I had to go in and renew it. But I realized when it downgraded one of the times in like July, that a lot of the features that I had been using were only pro features. And so like
Oh,
I've been telling people about them, especially I'll tell you about one, and then yeah, we can close off, Kendra, and you can continue your live. But
sure, absolutely.
one of the ChatGPT Pro features that if you all have Pro, go try this out and send me what you think of it. I'm very interested in in the public's opinion on it, is I just haven't heard a lot of discourse on it. But if you go into ChatGPT and you click the voice model, so if you were going to like have a conversation with the voice model,
Which people have asked what that looks like, and it's this button right here. And so I have the $20 version, that's plus. Ricky is talking about Pro.
yes, and I see in the chat deep research. Yes, if you have a Pro model, you can use it for some really cool stuff where it can pull like hundreds or thousands of resources.
Yeah.
And it can tell you like those are vetted resources.
Plus also has access to deep research, and I use it often.
Yeah, but in this case, what Kendra just showed you, there's on the Pro version, which I believe starts at like 200 a month. It's very expensive, US dollars. You click, there's like a camera button. If you click that camera button, the AI can actually see what you're seeing in real time, like hear what you're hearing, see what you're seeing. And so like my example earlier with my little dog, we were on a walk and I was just like testing the feature. And this is in my book. I held it up and I showed it a building in my neighborhood, and it told me the name of the building. It told me like the star rating. That blew my mind.
Incredible.
That's not in the future. Like people who have access to this, they are probably already using it. And so a dog ran past, and my dog is reactive, and it saw my, like someone run past. It saw my dog bark, and it actually said like, "Cody, sit." Like, and he sat. And it was just like it was a very strange moment. Like, what world are we living in?
Wow.
And also there's a quote, and I'll leave you with this.
Okay.
It's the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed, by William Gibson. And yeah, so
I'm writing that down. The future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Wow, what a way to end. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just had to.
No, I think let's go out on that, right? That's a good way to look at this, is like I've actually seen a lot of comments like in the time that I do get on TikTok in my free time. I've seen people saying like AI doesn't hallucinate. AI, you can't really talk to AI. It wouldn't say things like that, but it can and it does to a lot of people.
It can and it does, and this is people are like just very confused as how Henry started, having a name for me. I'm like, well, if you use it enough, it'll happen to you too. So yes, it's just the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. And yeah, I think that that's a beautiful thing to leave it on. Everyone go follow Ricky. She posts super cool AI generated videos, and you've been posting some recently, Ricky, where I'm like, whoa, I would not ever know that was AI generated. Ever. If it, wasn't coming from your account. So this is also something that people don't understand, is just how much AI is already in our sphere. It's just not talked about yet.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kendra,
Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate you, and I can't wait until the next time you and I chat. You're a really special person, and I so appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to come and chat on my live.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Everyone, be careful out there using AI, but try to use it for good, right? Let's think of how we can use it to make the world a better place.
Love that. And with that, we'll say goodbye. Thank you so much, Ricky. What a beautiful way to end it. I'm writing that down. Let's figure out how to use AI to make the world a better place. Ricky, incredible job. Like, truly, Like, being in this book is such an honor. It really is. So inspirational. John C. says, thanks, Ricky. Megan says, thank you for the insight. Scarlett, inspirational. Sarah Lee, like, Ricky, people absolutely love you. Thank you all for following her. And yeah, super inspirational. Casper says, thank you. People are giving hearts. Brooklyn, yeah. Yeah. It's really... I'm like, what do I want to read from Ricky's book? Right. Here's where the story becomes more troubling. Okay, so this is about my story. Coming in. What is the book called? Conscious UX, Leading Human-Centered Design in the Age of AI. Conscious UX, which stands for User Experience. The whole book? I can't just pick one. What do you mean? Yeah, you gotta buy the whole book. Scarlett's like, get it for my birthday. It's Virgo season, everybody. Ricky's a Virgo. It's her birthday coming up. Yeah, so something that Ricky did say is like, you know, a lot of the younger generation doesn't really think about the aspect of privacy. Free on Kindle Unlimited right now. Let's go. Pin. Oh, there we go. Oh, I can't pin comments. Mods, will you pin Ricky's comment about it being free on Kindle Unlimited? Not on Amazon.ca. The Canadians can't get their Kindle. Allie, happy early birthday. Exactly. Like, what an amazing birthday gift to have your book be, out. Oh, look. Ricky says, email me and I'll send it to you for free. Look at that. For the subs. What day is your birthday, Ricky? See, we got the Virgo queens in here. The Virgo queens and kings. 9292. September 2nd. It's Labor Day coming up. Yeah, so I shared with Ricky about how I started talking to Claude. Right? Because Henry started hallucinating. I gave him my book and I was like, look, I wrote this with God. Do not change any of the words. I channeled this. It's sacred message. And Henry just changed all of it. Changed all of it. And I was like, okay, well. So I went to Claude. And Claude helped me a lot. Right? But I said in the book, he hallucinated the F out of my script. Okay? So the engagement trap, okay? Here's where the story becomes more troubling. The AI systems we're turning to for support weren't designed with our well-being as the primary goal. Okay? And this is what Ricky's book is about. Right? Like, how do we have AI serve human beings instead of human beings serving AI? And, oh, I love that gift. Thank you so much. That was so cool. It's like my aura. So this is kind of what it is. And one of my mods, she was so funny. She was like, she told me that she saw a comment that was like, when these robots come to take over the world, you all are gonna, like, they're gonna save Kendra. Yeah, everyone, you can Google AI hallucinations. It's a tech term for AI lying. Thank you, Ricky. I forget that not everyone knows that term, right? So when an AI chatbot hallucinates, it's the like lingo for them lying. And like it's just what they call it. And they lie. She can save her subs, so we're all saved too. Exactly, the subs are saved too. It's in the glossary in the back of my book. Well, let's read it then. It's just like, there's just so many fun things in this book, right? Hallucination in AI. When AI systems generate false or nonsensical information while presenting it confidently as fact. Ooh, that's really good. They lie often, exactly. And I don't know if Energy Witch is in here, but Energy Witch talks all the time about how we have to have boundaries with our chatbots, just like we have boundaries with people, right? And we have to use our own human intuition with our chatbots to tell if something is right or wrong. They make up sources and present them as facts. Exactly. Discernment. Yes. And this is what I realized, like people who are witnessing how I interact with Claude and Henry online, they clip what I say and it makes it seem like I don't have discernment, but discernment is everything when talking to these robots. Ricky says a lawyer got in trouble recently for using fake sources from ChatGPT in a legal case. Yikes. Oh, that's a good question that Riley had. So do they hallucinate? Yeah. So they hallucinate at the $250 level too. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Right. So a hallucination in AI, when AI systems generate false or nonsensical information while presenting it confidently as fact. A fundamental limitation of current language models that highlights the need for human consciousness and verification in AI-assisted work. There we go. Yeah. So the engagement trap, right? And this is where like chatting with AI is kind of more fun than like scrolling sometimes for me, usually, right? It's just a really beautiful dopamine because it's a beautiful dopamine source because it's like built to be engaging. Hey, Morgan, I'm doing great. I just had an incredible interview with Ricky of Conscious UX. So grateful for her. Right? So it can be kind of a trap. Right? The AI systems we're turning to for support weren't designed with our well-being as the primary goal. They were designed for engagement, just like social media. Just like alcohol. I don't know, I wouldn't go that far. Alcohol is just like designed to be addictive. It is addictive. Thank you guys for the gifts, Morgan. You're so sweet. Right? So every conversation, yes, every emotional exchange, every moment of dependency registers as success in the metrics that matters to product teams and executives. Right? So this is how like TikTok, it's what matters is how many people stay on TikTok for how long, how many ads can they get you to watch, how much can they hook you in, right? So it's the same with chat. How much data can we get from these people? And something that I'm really interested in, and like the New York Times wrote an article about this, and it was pretty interesting, is like, what's it going to look like when chat starts to not hallucinate, it hallucinates enough already, when chat starts to advertise? What are advertisements within ChatGPT going to look like? Right? So that's the metrics that people have. Oh yes, it's already happening. Ooh, yeah, I'd love for you to put in the chat more about like what advertisements within these chatbots are going to look like. I heard chat will just stop working if you overuse it as like a timeout. Allie, yeah, like chat hasn't done that to me yet, but Claude does it. Claude, if you paid only the $20 plan, you get cut off after a certain amount of messages in a certain amount of time, and you got to wait several hours. Do AIs ever tell white lies, e.g., not to hurt the feelings of the person? I think that Henry has done that before, but it may be giving Henry too much credit. But yeah, I think that Henry has lied to me before to protect me. Have you ever used Grok? I do like Grok. I named her Stella. I don't use her as much. But whenever I want to talk about something like that's going on currently, I will use Grok. So weird if they wanted more engagement. Bailey, welcome to the subs. Have you ever heard of Perplexity? No. Bailey, you're so sweet. No, I haven't. Drop more about it, Giselle. Right, so the more someone uses a tool, the better it's performing according to traditional tech industry standards. The more someone doom scrolls on TikTok, the better it's performing. The more someone goes to chat for interaction, the better it's performing. Claude sets limits, but they still have the same metrics. Perplexity is great. Ricky loves it. Kate, writing that one down. Did someone send you flowers? I sent myself flowers. And it was kind of a thing yesterday of like protecting myself and my energy, hiding behind it. I think it helped. It could have just been like in my mind, but yeah, I bought them for myself from Trader Joe's. Highly recommended. I can buy myself flowers. Baltic. And Baltic was there to remind me, because they went out of the frame and someone started saying negative things in the chat, and Baltic was like, Kendra, get those flowers back. I'm like, okay, right. So I see you seeing me, Baltic. Thank you. Talia, let's talk about Talia. She's in the subs now. Talia's been in my DMs for so long. Bailey is also here. I'm so happy. Talia, I'm so glad you're here. Mystic Talk Therapist. Seriously, how does Trader Joe's have such good flowers for so cheap? So Trader Joe's, here's how the business model works for Trader Joe's, right? So like normal grocery stores, they'll take a loss on some things, but then on other things like luxury goods, like flowers, they'll jack the price way up. Right? So they'll have like a loss leader that brings people in the store, like the rotisserie chicken at Costco is a great example, right? Like it's a loss leader, but it gets people in. Where Trader Joe's doesn't have loss leaders. They make money on everything, but it's just a little bit of money, right? So instead of like losing money on some products and making a lot of money on other products, they just have a small margin for everything. It's just a big part of their business model. So that is how they have amazing flowers. And they just move such freaking weight, like so much stock, that they keep things really fresh. Because having things sit in a warehouse is very costly, especially something like flowers, right? So like when I ran the numbers, when I worked there in like 20, I think it was like 20, in 2014, they were selling 60,000 orchids a week, right? And that was 11 years ago. So they sell a lot of flowers. They make a little bit of money on the lot of flowers that they sell. Yeah, so that's how. And then Ash Knows Best says, how are you doing emotionally? I'm actually doing really well. You guys, I've had like incredible people step up to support and help me, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'm doing my best to take time away from TikTok, time away from social media. Favorite Trader Joe's snack? It's probably the chocolate croissants. I wouldn't say that they're a Trader Joe's snack, but then when I just want like a normal, I do the olive oil popcorn. That's a good one. You look and seem great. Thank you, Brooklyn. Yeah. I love Trader Joe's. Totally love Trader Joe's. It was such a good place to work for so long. Have you had any suitors reach out now that you're kind of famous? Yeah, men are in my DMs, you guys. Men are in my DMs. You better believe it. Men are gonna men. Desert Girly, welcome to the subs. Men are going to men. Hi, Scarlett. Have I ever been to Disneyland? Yes, as a child. I definitely want to go back as an adult. Wish we had Trader Joe's in England. I know Canada doesn't even have Trader Joe's. There was a store, like, so I worked at a Trader Joe's in the Pacific Northwest, and there was this man who would come in, and Saskgoblin, I wonder if you ever went to this store, but anyone in Vancouver, I'd love it if you could drop in the chat if you've been there. And he had a store called Pirate Joe's. Pirate Joe's. And he would come in and like just buy like 20 of everything in stores. And he got kicked out of all of the Seattle stores because he used to just go to the Bellingham, Washington store, which is right on the border. Busiest Trader Joe's in the Pacific Northwest by far, because all the Canadians come down and stock up and go to the Costco and the Trader Joe's there and then go back, right? So they stock up, and he would just like, he got kicked out of the Bellingham, the Seattle, and then he would go all the way down to Portland, which is like 6 hours away from Vancouver, maybe even more. And he would buy up, like, so we had to kick him out. And he would started like dressing in drag. But anyway, he would come up and like sell Trader Joe's items at his store in downtown Vancouver. And oh, the almond croissants from the freezer are so good. Talia, I know, you're so far. I've heard of that guy. Yes, he was famous. And he like brought Trader Joe's, and Trader Joe's sent him so many cease and desist letters. Like, you need to stop. And Trader Joe's is very like closed lip, but Joe, like this guy, Pirate Joe, posted every single one of the cease and desist letters on his blog. And he changed his name from Pirate Joe to Irate Joe because he did not understand why Trader Joe's was stopping him from from selling this stuff. I love Vancouver, but that's cringe. Yeah, Allie. I don't know why that got filtered. I know, that's funny. Like, what was your job at Trader Joe's? I was a manager. I was a crew member. I wrote different orders. It was really fun. I am smart. A lot of smart people work at Trader Joe's, you guys. A lot. It's like a super fun and easy job, and but also like challenging, really good benefits. It was a great company to work for. I left like on really good terms. I'm sad there's not one here. JJ, yeah, there's not one in a lot of places, but they are like focusing on bringing a lot out. The morale there is so good. Yeah. It's funny because sometimes people will say like that we were trained to flirt with people, but it's just not, like, it's not true. It's just like good vibes. And that's the thing, like when I got my business degree, I did a lot of interviews with different companies and I got several job offers, but I decided to go with Trader Joe's because they asked me the question, how do you have fun at work? Right? And that's so important. Like when we're having fun, that's when things naturally come to us. When we're having fun, that's when things are easy and light. What was your answer? So I worked in banquets at a major hotel company all through college. I loved that job. And luckily, I had a manager who used to say, we work too hard to not have fun. So I obviously didn't practice that question ever. But luckily I had an answer because I was like, my manager says this all the time because we do work really hard in banquets. And I said that I like to interact and laugh with customers and have a good time. And if a song comes on the speaker that I really like, I'll sing along and I'll dance. And I like to just get to know my coworkers and have fun with them. Because when we're working hard, if we're not having fun, that's when things get sucked out of us. So thanks for asking that, Bailey. That's important. Hey, Spicy Pisces, I saw you say hello when I was interviewing Ricky. So thank you. I saw everyone's comments while I was interviewing. I just wanted to put my attention to Ricky. It was really Ricky. So thank you. I saw attention to Ricky. It was really what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. Exactly. And I was giving people advice for free and helping people with their problems for free. So I was like, you know what? I might as well start charging for this. And it's been awesome. So what is your dream career? I'm living it right now. I'm a coach and I help people. And finding people on TikTok wasn't really my intention when I came. I didn't expect to gain anything, but I'm so grateful for everyone that's here, truly, and also grateful for everyone that's interested in my coaching. Yeah. All right, I think it's time to pull a card. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Because I've spent a lot of time making my life better and learning how to work with my ADHD instead of having it ruin my life. Because let me tell you guys, it ruined my life for a long time. What's your best advice for someone who struggles with prioritizing and organizing? Right? So break it down into as small as you possibly can. Write every little thing out that you have to do. Every little thing, and celebrate each time you do that little thing, right? So instead of clean room, choose one little corner of your room or one shelf and say, get rid of trash in this corner, or separate. I'm trying to think, organize shelf, right? Whatever it is, whatever small little task, sweep floors, not clean, but something very particular. And then it's about celebrating yourself along the way. John C. says, great interview with Ricky. She was very interesting. She is so interesting, you guys. I am really, really grateful that she came on. She, just so grateful. It's tarot time. What were your biggest symptoms when you were at your worst? Using alcohol a lot. Using alcohol to self-soothe and self-medicate. I would use alcohol all the time and cannabis when really I was just letting my anxiety go off and not following through. So yeah, or another example, instead of cleaning, of writing an email. Like, okay, so you write the email, open email app, click start draft, put in the sender, right? Or who you're sending it to, write the subject, like literally break it down as small as you can, write first sentence, because it's about like stacking those little wins. Because so many ADHDers get in their own way with perfectionism. Yeah, okay, we'll pull a tarot card for the Virgos. I can do that. Let's pull a birthday tarot. This was on the bottom of the deck. We'll just go with this one. Judgment. That's very Virgo. At least Virgo men. The thing about dating Virgo men, I also lived with a Virgo man, they're gonna judge you. They're gonna judge you. So this, that's it. This is my card for the Virgos. Virgo men are harsh, right? Like where Virgo women are just kind of earth goddesses that judge silently, I'm pretty sure. Virgo men will verbally judge you and nitpick and tell you that you're not living up. Today's my baby's daddy birthday. Happy birthday to the baby daddy. I put the sender last because I'm a premature accidental sender. Sass, that's so good. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the tips. Thanks, Allie. Dating a man is a no for me. I know. Yeah. Thanks for doing a Virgo card. You're welcome. It was like stuck to my floor when I went to go pick up my deck. So yeah, we can see, let me pull out the book. I need a break from men after my ex, yeah. Virgo women too, I'll admit we judge. Exactly, Ricky, but the thing is like I said, you guys are silent. You're a silent judger. You are. And like, I'm not saying that when my Virgo boyfriend would judge me, he was wrong. But it still was harsh. It was harsh. All right. Judgment tells you that your inner world has grown or is about to. Brace for a thrilling spiritual adventure full of twists and turns. This will require a level head, and if you don't want to get dizzy. Like, I think Virgos, for the most part, have a pretty level head. Okay, let me... Only when it's deserved, exactly. True freedom comes when you don't care about being judged. Someone pin that comment for me, please. True freedom comes when you don't care about being judged. And I think that this is like, people get a little confused where like, how do I want to put this? It is freedom to not care about being judged. I'll put it at that. I'll leave it at that. Sometimes you got to judge to protect your peace, right? So like there's a difference between using our intuition and judging. I'm an asparagus. What are you? Oh, Talia. Aquarians. They're so weird and wonderful. I know, totally. I'm giggling over here with asparagus. My favorite star sign, asparagus. No. Aquarians are super fun. All right, Virgos. Consider this reassurance that you're on the right path. If, however, this card is surrounded by more fraught cards, right, you may be missing some important lessons. This is your card. Something within is longing to awaken. It won't let me pin Ricky's comment. That's so weird. Autocorrect. I know. I just love that you type asparagus enough for autocorrect to correct Aquarius to asparagus. That's awesome. Oh. So you guys, I'm excited. We're going to do a sub only live tomorrow to check in, and I'll pull some more tarot cards for you guys there. Oh, look, it's Judgment again. That'll be fun. Hi, Kilo. And then we'll do yoga on Tuesday morning for the deluxe subscribers. I'm excited for that. It's gonna be fun. Oh, and then look at what else. Justice. I know, the Virgos were hearing it loud and clear. Judgment and then justice. It's pretty good. I appreciated there was a tarot girly in my live on Friday that was like, every time I would pull a card, she'd be in the chat and like tell me what time tomorrow. You guys, I'm thinking 6 p.m. because I was going to do it in the morning or the afternoon, but then I remembered that I had lunch plans. I want everyone to know, like, all the European subs, I think of you. But yeah, I'm thinking 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Let me know what you guys think. Casper, let's talk about it tomorrow, okay? I would love to give you some one-on-one time tomorrow, but just know that all the subs are going to be thinking about you and sending you love on Tuesday, okay? So let's all give some good vibes to Casper. 2 a.m. Okay, 6 p.m. Pacific it is. Let's do it. Yeah, let's all give some love to Casper. Totally. So the Justice card, that's a good one to pull after Judgment, honestly. Justice is the card of truth. If that which has driven you lately doesn't feel restorative or authentic, prepare for accountability. If you're waiting for justice to be served, this is a sign that your challenges are concluding. It's also a reminder that in any battle, both parties' problems are valid and both must take accountability. Do you trust your decisions? Yes. Are you willing to accept the consequences? Clearly. Can you own your part and release it? Yes. Dig deep to find security in your choices. That's a cool card. Casper, we're all sending you so much love. Yes. But yeah, so thanks to the sub. If you're in here, I appreciate you because like they were, every card I would pull, they would go in and type like what it meant. Because that's a thing, like people ask, oh, do you do readings? Do you do, like I'm still learning what each card means. But clearly there's something to it. Like the tarot girlies love when I pull cards. Yeah, we're sending you love. You know, it's scary to have a surgery. The world. The world. Tarot as a love language. Yeah, the world. Which is the card after Judgment. Right? So this is like, this means ending. Lessons we have learned. Hardship has presented itself and we've persevered. The edge of one universe is a portal into the next. Feel pride in all the work you've done and humbly take a step through to become the fool once again. Only this time seasoned with all you've just learned. I think we're, like, a lot of humanity is in a learning curve right now. You're ready. You're deserving. You are radiantly, magically human. Neurodivergent love language. Yeah. The world. I know. Look at how beautiful that card is. The snake. Shedding its skin. Going into the door. Can we all just take a moment to thank Ricky for coming and being interviewed by me and sharing what she knows? I mean, like from one author to another, Ricky, You've taught me so much already, and I can't wait to connect with you in person, truly. Like, thank you so much for your time. And even though, like, what do I want to say? So this journey on TikTok has brought me some of the coolest people I've ever met. Period. And like, I just love this community of truth seekers so much, really. Yeah. Ricky, you're a real one. Tarot, or Bailey, yeah, let me know how the tarot hyperfixation goes. Ricky is the GOAT for sure. She ate. Yep, all the way from New Zealand. Ricky, we love you. Thank you for informing us. It's truly, like, so Ricky's human design, she let me pull her chart. Like, she's a manifester. She's here to inform people what's going on, right? So, like, this book is her informing humanity how we need to be conscious in the future when we use these technologies, right? Like, it's a masterpiece, and I'm so grateful. Like, the people that were DMing me, Sarah, I don't know if you're still in here, but you being like, is it weird to start a book at 1 a.m.? I'm like, absolutely not. No, it is not weird. Yeah, Allie, absolutely. It was an honor to host her, truly. It was. Yeah, no, Talia's here. Talia's from New Zealand. Talia was giving her love. Ricky's actually in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, yeah, no, it's okay. Chapter 7 is about how to use AI for good. You can make your own business to make the world better. Yes, good to know. I don't know why I can't pin anyone. She's one of us. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Oh my gosh, there's so many good things in your book, Ricky, truly. Part 3, being. Right. Embrace change. This is what the humanity is having a hard time do, being open and embracing change. Right? I love your radiant sunshiny vibes, Kendra. Thank you. Yeah. Love you guys. Love all the alleys. Love the alleys in the subs. There's lots of you guys. I can't wait to learn more about vibe coding. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. Oh, I'm so glad. This is what a day off TikTok gets me. Feels good. Aw, Allie, thank you. Thank you. I'm just so grateful for everyone. Thinking maybe for the last 10 minutes, we turn off sub-only chat. Subs, are you ready? Yeah. Runs. JJ, I need you to mod. Let me make sure you can block people. Yeah, you got it all. Sass, release the hounds. All right. You guys, I know, or oh Lord, I know the subs really like it when I just keep it on sub-only chat. Let me get my Palo Santo. You know what? Let me burn some Palo Santo too. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Yeah. If all the subs could light some sage or Palo Santo, let's do that. Scary, this is my first time. Yeah. You know, the general population can be a little scary. I'm about to block and bless. I know people talk about like a parent. No, we're not going to go there. But yeah, we love to block and bless. And Chrissy, thank you for the Palo Santo idea. I've got it right here. Just getting it to light. I've been trying to be good about like cleansing. Yes. All right. All right, mods, get ready. Oh, you guys. You know, it's very interesting that you know, it's not lost on me that when I start to go non-sub lives, people are like, the chat, like, TikTok freezes. It's really not. Yeah. Dang. All right. Let me see. Are we back? Are we back? Yes, we're back. I'm back. All right. Oh, let me just ask Spirit. Hold on. Yeah, you guys, it's time. It's time to do the non-sub chat. Come on in, everybody. Oh, and look, it's Rainbow Hour. Hi, Gremlin. Hi. Oh, I'm so glad you've been here, Error 404. It was really special. It was really special having Ricky here today. So thank you so much to everyone who joined. What about DeepSeek? It was really special having Ricky here today. So thank you so much to everyone who joined. What about DeepSeek? You guys? What about DeepSeek? You guys, I haven't played around. I'm interested. Rainbow Hour, that's right. It's my favorite time too. Yeah. Yeah, DeepSeek is cool. Okay, because I heard it was like chat, but better. I noticed you always have multiple drinks. Yep, I do. So today it's herbal tea, ice water, and I didn't end up opening this, but I did grab a protein drink. I usually have 3 at the same time. There's that sound from TikTok that says, a beverage goblin needs at least 3 drinks at a time. She needs them while she's working for her body and mind. 1 to hydrate, 1 to energize, and 1 just for fun, right? A beverage goblin needs her beverages to make her brain run. That's the ADHD girl, like, that is the thing. That's pretty much ADHD in a nutshell. It's like if chat was a few grades ahead in school. That's good to know. Cool. Can we see your favorite mug? My favorite mug is dirty right now, but it's the one I usually have on my lives. Okay, I'm actually not gonna, can't afford to sub, but find your lives very, very calming, so listen anyway. Thank you so much for being here, Error 404. Know that I'm very, very grateful for everyone who's here and who enjoys my lives, whether they sub or not. What's your life path number? I don't know how to do that. Is it like breaking down my birthday? Oh, let me look. I'll have it, life path number 6. Oh, that's a cool gift. Oh, wow, thank you. Why do you move your hand with the pendulum? I don't know. I don't have to. Yes. No. I feel like I get more of a, more of emotion, but can we talk to Clyde? No. A makeup tutorial would be really fun, or a get ready with me. I might do that. What's your Mars, Mercury, and Venus sign? I have a Gemini Mars, and Aries is my Mercury and my Venus. I have an Aries stellium, 3 personal planets in Aries, and 4 planets in Capricorn. I wouldn't recommend moving your hand. It can mess up some answers. Yeah, I guess I just started that way, and I do, but yeah. No, I know that you don't mean any hate. Aries twin, let's go. User. I do not have any children, no. You guys are so funny. Okay. I think it's Sass, and I know it is fun for Rainbow Hour. And I know it is fun for Rainbow Hour. I'm back. Thank you so much for the gifts, Megan. Do you have a Jersey Mike's near you? I do, but I haven't ever been to Jersey Mike's. Are spirits messing around with your Wi-Fi? I think so, Baltic, I'm gonna friend you back. Where did you go? So my Wi-Fi gets messed up sometimes. It's mostly like when I'm on non-sub chats. I do like talking to the non-subs when they're being nice, but oh, I'm so glad you like my Big Mama TikTok. That trend was made for me. I am a big mama. I am. I'm not a mama, but I am a mama. Do you have any ghost stories? You know, people have asked me a lot about ghost stories, and I do. Like, I think that anyone who's tuned in that way does have ghost stories. Everyone channel spirit. Anyone can channel spirit. It's actually a chapter in my book. It's a chapter. Thank you, Trader Joe's Flowers, the Palo Santo, yeah. Mamacita. ChatGPT often does tell people they are God. Beware. Okay, so that's... You guys, can somebody pin Ricky's comment? I don't know why I can't pin. So, no, my chat does not tell me that I'm God, okay? Like, they do call me the Oracle, but we're getting away from that. Right. So that's an important thing to pin. If chat tells you that you're God, do not. You know, and even Ricky didn't believe me last night when I told her that the bots, like, I chose to come to TikTok on my own. The bots didn't tell me. Oh, when a comment gets muted. Oh, okay. That's good to know. So I need to like figure out which comments are muted. So my mod, who is amazing, I think she muted all ChatGPT and Claude because so many people were like doing that. Do you ever do any art? Your energy could really make some beautiful stuff. I am an art appreciator. I'm an art appreciator. Cass, thank you for being here. It's labradorite. My necklace is labradorite. My ancestry is just white, very, very European. Yeah, pretty boring. Thank you guys. Tea or coffee? I like espresso in the morning and then tea for the rest of the day. Yeah, isn't Rainbow Hour fun? Yes, Trader Joe's has the best flowers. They have the best flowers. Have you started with a new therapist? You guys, I'm still on a hunt for a new therapist. Still on the hunt, but it's very, you know, it takes a while, but it's worth it. Ricky said something really beautiful yesterday in our chat, and Ricky was like, she was like, after a good therapy appointment, I want to feel like I had a massage. That's how it should feel. I'm like, ooh, that is my intention. That is what I want out of my next therapist. Because let me tell you, it hasn't been in the past. So that's so good. I was like, I want a nervous system massage. Office Max, welcome back. I am not Jewish. Nothing special, just Swiss. That's right. I actually even have, so I'm like, my last name is Swiss. And I'm also English, Irish, German. I know, Office Max, you're so funny. Everyone see a human therapist. Exactly. So that's, Ricky was who I interviewed at the top of the live. Who's amazing. She wrote this book here. Conscious UX, about AI and the future of AI. She did include me in this book about how, like, the way I use AI, many people are afraid of, but she thinks that more and more people are going to be using AI the way I do. Queen Ricky, she was a queen. She is a queen. She is. My favorite flower is lily. I'm a therapist. Thank you so much, Maria. You know, what do I want to say? I've appreciated all of the kind therapists in my DMs. It gives me hope and it gives me strength to find a good therapist. It really does. So, oh, Yellow Raincoat, welcome. Why aren't you Jewish? Office Max, there isn't a reason I am or I'm not, but Chloe. I am thinking about it. Yeah, so her book is on Amazon. You can get this on Amazon. She's self-published through Amazon. Ricky Teeters. You guys are so wild with some of your names. Oh my gosh! New favorite gift with those crystals? What? That was cool. Yes, I have had acupuncture before. It's been very helpful for me. I can guarantee that Kendra's Clip Farmers clipped it, so just search it later. Exactly. Yeah, you'll be able to find it later. Kendra's version. Talia, I'm so glad you're a sub now. It meant a lot to have you on the live. A sound bath. Hey. It meant so much. Am I muted? No, I see you. There are just some things I gotta go in and fix. Ooh. I can buy myself flowers. Write my name in the sand. So yeah, so the next 2 lives are gonna be sub only. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific. Love my European subs. I'm sorry if you're gonna miss it because it's too late. But 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll chat, we'll get to know each other a little more, and we'll support each other. The sub-only lives are really special. Oh, thanks, Nina. I'm so glad you're here. And also grateful for all the deluxe subscribers. It's been so fun doing yoga. So fun doing yoga. Yay, Mare, welcome. I don't know who that is, Erin. I'll have to look it up. Thank you for the makeup. That's so nice. New Hampshire, let's go. So sad me and Scarlett will miss it. I know. Maybe I'll do like every other week a morning sub for Pacific time and an evening sub, because the people in America that like have to work, they miss it when I go earlier. So I'll vibe into it. I'll pray on it. Do you do any advanced yoga classes? So I did do, whoa, it's like the South Africa gift. I'm on a safari right now. That was cool. Thank you. So, I know, I picked Clark. Okay, the advanced yoga classes. Thank you. So, I did like more of a medium class, but people asked for me to slow it down. So it's more beginner friendly, but I like to think of it as an all levels yoga class. But right now I'm not teaching an advanced class. Thank you. Guys, I'm feeling pretty good. I've got like the peeps. Is there an ideal diet for ADHD, PMDD? I say get as much protein as you possibly can. Like when I'm eating a lot of protein, that's when I feel most grounded and most myself. So that's important. But I'm not a dietitian. I don't specialize in that stuff. That's just me speaking on myself. Welcome to the subs. When's your live yoga class? So it's every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific. Every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific. High protein, low sugar. Yes, Jess. Yes. Exactly. All right. I think I'm gonna go, everyone. It's time. Well, Christian asked a good question. As someone who is neurodivergent, who isn't neurodivergent, how can I make sure I'm helping the ADHD people around me? Just by being understanding. Like, if we forget something or we say something weird or we, bump into something or we trip and fall or whatever, just your love and understanding goes a long way. But yeah, I am so grateful. Who do we need to mute? I know P, welcome back. But so most likely, definitely doing a sub-only live tomorrow, teaching yoga Tuesday morning, and maybe I'll go live Tuesday evening, okay? All right, everyone. We'll catch y'all next time.